Well, good day, folks. It's Neil Johnson, Neil of the North. Excited to be with you, folks. Let's see if anybody joins on here. I got an important message. It's actually about Father's Day. It's a little late, but it's important. My dad's no longer with me. He died of cancer, and that was back in 2009. And interestingly enough, so my dad was an alcoholic, and we had some tough times growing up. But the last 5 years, oh hey folks, the last 5 years of my dad's life were the best times we shared together. It was incredible. Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. That's great, thank you. It was very enjoyable because my dad, not only was he sober, he'd gotten sober when I was younger. Actually when I was 12, but then my parents ended up getting a divorce. And it was tough times, all that kind of stuff. I was bitter with my dad, very angry. I was really kind of a jerk, to be perfectly frank. And I needed to forgive him, which I did. Hey, by the way, check out the hat my son got me. I don't know if you can see that. Don't grow up, it's a trap. Smash that like button. Yeah, please, folks. Please do that. It's a great message. It's very, obviously, it's very non-political. It's just about fatherhood. Well, anyway, so, you know, once the divorce happened, well, my mom, the whole thing, it was just messed up. I just won't get into it all. But the bottom line is, I'm on my driveway. Answer the question there. But I'm going to stay to task because I can't get distracted. So anyhow, but chat amongst yourselves, but I'm like a laser focus right now, folks. This is important. So anyways, so my parents divorced. I was bitter, all of that. And, you know, through my high school years, it went really bad, my relationship with my father. But then something happened. By the grace of God, he worked upon my heart. And when I got married to Laura, you know, she was really wonderful to my dad. And then we went on a missions trip. I went on a missions trip to Ghana, Africa. And I was asked to deliver a message about a man and his family. And the message that came to me was about forgiveness of my father. So I actually wrote him a letter. And that changed a lot of things for my dad and I. And then I apologized to him when I saw him for being such a twit, you know, and he was real gracious about that. But there was still a wall there. There was still kind of this barrier. Well, 5 years before my dad died from cancer, he actually tried to take his own life. He drank a half gallon of antifreeze. And I was praying for him. I was praying for him a lot, actually, because I'm going to stop for just a second here. Because it was impressed upon my heart to pray for him. I was really worried about him, and I was actually thinking he might do something like this. So he was in Bemidji. I don't know if any of you know Bemidji, Minnesota, but it's a small town, about 12,000 people. And they actually have dirt alleys on the outer edge. He did this in a dirt alley with no lights. Drinks this half gallon of antifreeze. By the grace of God, a cop finds him. There's no way, folks. It's 2 in the morning on a dark alley on the outskirts, and some cop just happens upon him. I'm telling you, it's because of my prayers. Anyhow, my dad was airlifted to Fargo, and really crazy, he did not have any ill effects from the antifreeze. They did dialysis. They got it all out of him. No ill effects. Now, folks, you can say what you want, but that's the power of prayer. And if you believe in prayer, you know, say so in the chat. I want to see how many of you are active in your prayer life and really believe that that works. But yeah, hey Doug, you know what else? But this is where it gets really crazy. This weekend, I'm doing an art show. Okay, so I do this art show. I'm in Aberdeen, South Dakota. And I get to talking with this gal, and it turns out her husband died 3 years ago, okay? And her daughter's with her. Her daughter's probably, I want to say 17 or 18 years old. She looks right around that age. But as she gets talking, she was talking about her husband and the fact that he was no longer there. I asked, and she said 3 years. And so I said, gosh, that's tough. I said, I lost my dad to cancer. And so I reached out and gave her a hug. And she said, my daughter probably really needs a hug. So I hugged them both. And we had our little meeting right there. You know, and our job is to spread grace, hope, love, truth to people, okay? This is ultimately what is important in life. So I did that, and it was a very touching experience for me and them. Then get this, my wife wrote a book called Someone Like Daddy, and I'll brag on my wife. She's a good storyteller. She can really spin a yarn, but she's the book she wrote is phenomenal. I can't read the thing without crying. I'm not kidding. It's a daddy-daughter book. It will bring you to tears, good tears, okay? If you want to check it out, it's on nljbooks.com. I'll make a plug for that book because it's awesome. Thanks, Doug. Yeah, Doug bought the book. What are your thoughts on it, Doug? I guess you can light that up. But I can't read the thing without crying. It just is so good. It follows a girl through her life and her relationship with her dad. And she keeps talking about how she's going to marry daddy when she grows up. Well, she ends up, you know, I won't wreck the punchline. There's a great poem in there and everything. But my son handed that to a lady and her daughter. And she looked at the book, and the daughter said, or the mom said to the daughter, actually, wouldn't it be great if it worked out that way? Okay? So that's, you know, and my son was like, he kind of felt bad, and he's like, oh gosh, maybe I should have gotten a book. And I said, you know, son, you preach the ideal, you live the real, okay? Just because things are bad out there doesn't mean you don't keep talking about how good things can be. You preach the ideal, you live the real, okay? So that's just a lesson. But for all those fathers out there, if you've made mistakes in the past, or if you're a kid and your father has made mistakes, I'm telling you, forgiveness is the only path. It is the only path. I mean that in all sincerity. Your life will be a train wreck if you can't forgive. You'll carry the bitterness in your heart. And, you know, Cindy, it's for you. It's for you that you forgive, not even for them. I have forgiven people that absolutely they didn't change. That's okay. That's their thing. Happy Father's Day. We're WD. Oh, that is so awesome. That is so awesome. So, yeah, thank you for commenting, Constitution Vet. But we have got to just forgive and move on for ourselves, not even as much for them. Look, I'm going through a crazy deal right now, and I'd appreciate your prayers. So if you would, you can just let me know you'll be praying for me. Just put that in the chat. So I've got this real estate deal, and something got recorded improperly, and the guy isn't acting in good faith, and I've got to forgive him. And last night I prayed that God would bless him, and I'm going to take it on the chin here, and it is what it is. He's just completely not acting in good faith. But that all being said, I'm going to just keep doing what I do. And, you know, you can win by losing and lose by winning, folks. Did you know that? I mean, if you're out there trying so hard that you have to win, I'm talking in your life. I'm not talking about like a cause for the country, but if you have to win in your own life so badly that you're constantly in a fight, I mean, that can add up to a whole lot of losing. I don't go to court. I don't like court, and I just settle things out of court, and I find, you know, the most productive end I can. So I'm just going to tell you that. But, you know, I know there's a lot of fathers out there. I want to say a late happy Father's Day to you. And I want you, if you've got troubles with your dad, to forgive him. If you've done things wrong as a dad, I want you to forgive yourself, okay? And I want you to move on. and I want you to be the best dad you can be now. You know, it's that statement that, you know, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift. That is why we call it present. Do what you can do today. Today, all right? I just wanted to share those stories with you folks because that's just, it was really on my heart to do. I miss my dad. I really miss him. I mean, you know, there was a time where it would have just been bad when he died and I never would have resolved what needed to be resolved. But we did resolve things because after that attempted suicide, I never finished that story. My dad changed and see, all the walls are gone then, okay? And so with all the walls being gone, he and I had the most in-depth conversation we've had in our whole lives. And it changed our relationship. And those last 5 years were precious. And I wept when I lost my dad, not because we hadn't covered things, but because I missed him. I really missed him. There are times it still comes over me. I'll be driving in the Chippewa National Forest, which is an area he absolutely loved. And it would just come over me in waves of grief and just missing him. That never would have happened before. I would have had bitterness, waves of bitterness, and tears of bitterness, and tears of knowing I hadn't made peace. So you'll never regret making peace with your parents, okay? At least in your own heart, even if they don't want to be peaceful. You do all you can do, okay? It is so hard losing a parent, Voodoo Crab. It is so hard. And I needed to share that because I know that this world is not right. It's not right. Sin entered the world. It hasn't been right ever since, folks. So anyways, I just wanted to get that message out to you. Say hi, because, you know, I miss y'all, whatever. So anyways, but I'm going to get back to my morning walk and just remember, forgive, forgive, forgive. It is the way, all right? I love you. Peace out. God bless. God bless America.